Hello everyone, I'm Maria Gutierrez, the Artistic Associate of Hedwig Dances. Welcome to Hedwig Dances program, Creating Home. I am very excited today because this program is part of a series of virtual salons that investigate the creative process, my favorite part. In this instance, the new dance home, A Place Within, is in the process of being choreographed virtually by Spain-based choreographer Ana Beatriz Perez. Home will premiere on Sunday, March 7 at 3 p.m. For purchasing tickets, check on the bottom of the screen and in the chat section. For today's salon, we have honored to have Yolanda Cesta Cursach Montilla, the Executive Director of High Concept Labs, who will moderate today's conversation. Yolanda will interview choreographer Ana Beatriz Perez and her collaborator, Spanish composer Maria Move, about the process of creating home, the new work that they are designing for Hedwig Dances. You will find below a link to our website where our guest bios can be found. Please take a look. Home will have its virtual premiere March 7 at 3 p.m. We will also have posted below the link for purchasing tickets. First, before we turn the program over to our guests, we would like to present for the first time ever a trailer of Home, the new dance work that continues to be developed until its premiere on March 7. Here is the trailer.
I always wanted a house like this one.
I always wanted a house like this.
I always wanted a house like this.
Wow. I hope you enjoyed the trailer because I did. We look forward to the premiere of Home, A Place Within on March 7 at 3 p.m. Also, please remember that while today's program is offered free of charge, we will be most grateful if you will honor our work with a donation of any amount. The link to make your donation is displayed at the bottom of the screen and within the live chat section. Following today's discussion, we will have live Q&As with the artists. So where you can add your questions to the chat at any time during the discussion and afterward. I'm pleased to turn the program over to Yolanda as she discusses the development of Home with Ana Beatriz and Maria. Thank you, Yolanda.
Hola, Betty. Hola, Maria. It's so nice to be together with you. I'm very grateful to Hedwig for this opportunity to have a conversation. So that was amazing. It was beautiful to see the four dancers, Jake, Rigo, Olivia, and Jess. I wanted to start a conversation with talking about Genesis and development, where you typically begin what is the spark? If creating home has a different creation story. So does your creation generally start with an idea or with a community? Can you talk about that?
Hi, Yolanda. Hi, everyone. Well, I think that there are a lot of points of start when you create. Maybe you can start with an idea or with a talk or with a dream. But this idea at the beginning is with only a color, and then get another colors with people that you work. In that case of home, I have an idea with that concept of home, of refuge, of nest, of this space of you burn, of you grow, and this is a space that you feel and dream too, no? And then this idea, little by little, was developed when you when you connect with other people. In that case, these four dancers of Hedwig, they sent to me other information, and we put in contact. We put in the same box all that information, and sharing this work through the movement, through the ideas, and in putting between all that things. No, I think the idea is important, but I think it's important too. How can I develop or approach this idea with them?
I love the idea that community to you are the dancers. That's the first community. Yeah.
Yes. The dancer there are beautiful dancers, all of them. They are put a lot of information, a lot of experience, all that things that they lived before and they are living today, sharing is as a family. We share everything in that process. Well, not everything, but a lot in that process, and it's exchange, a generous exchange between us, and I think it's good for the peace because everything grows in that way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maria?
Yes, hi everyone. For me, it's also the same. At first, there was this idea of home and what home is for me and what a home is for each person in the project. And then the community gave a lot of information and enriched all what we need or what I needed to imagine this piece through sound and the music. So at first there was this idea, then there was the community of the dancers and Betty, and also there was a third community that is the public, that in this case is gonna be at home. So this was another thing added that was very important to create, especially this sound that reminds a shelter or a place where you can stay and you feel safe and you can follow the piece. Yeah.
That makes sense because so as a viewer, I was wondering about the sensations viewing the rehearsals. The sensations for me about the mutability of home, because home in the piece called Home necessarily has to be different for everybody's experience. It's protective, but it's also very vulnerable because I am in my home and for the first time opening up what that means as far as my bubble with everybody else, and I'm seeing other people's. And most importantly, the dancers are creating this incredible intimacy. And that's a vulnerability too. So I observed in the rehearsals the idea of off-site, being here and there at the same time, a kind of offness. There are some recurring themes, you know, the La Casa de Paja, the straw house, La Casa de Yeso, the brick house, how it's now kind of fluid. Then there's the diario, you know, 2001, the journaling, Havana, the house of the Capitan, 2008, you know, a house on the 7th floor. It's kind of beautiful because it's also acknowledging our very particular experience. So instead of what we usually have the advantage of having this site specific idea, I choose to go to the theater or I go to see your work in a park. Instead, there's an offness. Has the notion of offness changed for you both in making this work?
Yes, a ver, it's different and hard too, because first they give me this 4 space, this 4 room every week, and I enter every week in that beautiful rooms. It's difficult. It's difficult. Connect with that place of intimate, and but it's something generous too for they, no, for the bring and give all that space that the space that they live. This is the space of every day that they have to move, they have to change, they have to give another color, another texture for this piece. It's their space, but it could be another space. I would like to play in that piece with the space and time, the things that happened then and things that happened today, and that communicate, no, that enter and in and out. And I think that thinking before, there are an space and different space when a dancer that has a representation or performance on the street, you have to look this space on the street and go give another meaning, connect with this space and look the perspective, look what the space meaning for you, what the space give to you, and then all that information you put in contact with the space. And I think that this memory, I have this memory and give to them, and they use that memory of a different space or the new space that they have in that moment and play with this. I like very much to use that empty space. When the space is empty, tell us things. When the space is habited, tell another things. And that kind of play with full and with empty, I like very much to use in the piece, and I think it's really working in that piece, in that work.
Yeah, it's incredible because offness is opening up so many other possibilities. I'm also thinking about the sound. All our homes have different acoustics.
Yes.
They can be cold rooms, they can be vibrant rooms, there can be distractions. Maria, can you tell us what it was like to compose for offness?
Yes, this was something that I thought about a lot to create the music or think how the sound would be for this piece. Like normally we go to a theater and we're all together, or we go to see some dance piece on the street, at the streets. And we are together, and there's something that at this time it wouldn't be like that. People is gonna be at home, and probably they would have a lot of things happening around. And how could I create a sound that be a home or a shelter, or would keep the audience with us, like traveling through the piece as if they were in a theater. So this was an interesting and important point. And when I was imagining the sounds, I chose sounds that create intimacy, and really all-known sounds, some textures or things that were really close to people, also the human voice. So this was an important point, and I was wondering really how a home sounds for everybody, not only for me or for the people, this community, this team, but for everybody. So I wanted to create that. And yeah, it's something really interesting about this piece, the offness, how to create a sightness from an offness.
That's interesting, because Betty was just talking about time and space, and the attention as a composer to the qualities of a room or our surrounding, and how that plays into the idea of a role that we usually don't think about. For me, a sound and watching a dance is also my body responding to the sounds that I might be observing or even imagining, of the effort of the dancers, the breathing, the thumping on the floor. It's just a remarkable way of composing, because you are adding to things that we normally don't think about or normally don't take for granted, or we are taking for granted. So it's an additive, in the same way that I observed in rehearsals, Betty adding to what the dancers were already expressing, what they were bringing into each day of rehearsal to the room, and sharing from the room to one another. So that makes me think more about the philosophy about our vitality, about the esprit, where does beauty come from? Why are we seeing a performance? What is inspiring? What is stirring when we're seeing something or affecting us in a way we did not want? So in Home, the four dancers, I'm presented by them with four worlds, right? And I'm invited in. I'm watching the rehearsals. There's an interesting relationship of the camera frame with the interiors that a dancer is conducting, right? The dancer is conducting me about how I'm viewing the whole room. So the body is the transmitter. And what is more, the interior's limitation on the body to move and fill this space, it seems to give way to an incredible tenderness between the dancer and the camera frame that in Home was very revealing, very unexpected. It's a proposition by the dancer of a new way of perceiving, maybe a new way of thinking about where the beauty is, where I'm looking for it, when the whole of a room can take on a shape and a dimension to this degree of intimacy. It doesn't change dance, it adds to the idea of creating a dance. I'm being presented with four worlds, and I'm relating to the world. I'm addressed by those worlds. This heightened cognition, the recognition, I think that's the meaning of what it is to experience beauty, to find it in the other. I know this is very philosophical. Can you each talk about your experience of beauty, where you were looking for it in this process, and your experience of esprit, that impulse, the strong energy of our spirit?
Well, there are a lot of things, Yolanda. I think that beauty is in everywhere. I think that you have to be able to see, to looking or to looking for that beauty. That beauty it appear. When you look at the space, you look at the space from different distance. You go far away and you go closer, and that all this that distance make you a different view, a different forms or kind of see, no? I think that the movement is beauty in the natural, no? In the natural, the movement is the thing that has its own beauty. And this combination, that movement, little movement, you don't have to dance and jump and push the world. You only have to feel, have to feel in that space that you are. Feel what is the most for you. What is the most beautiful, or what is the most interesting place in your home, in this nest. What is the favorite place, and play with this. Touch it, feel the temperature, feel the how this frame talk to you, and that combination of space and movement and feelings is beauty. It's beauty. It's a contest is become beauty, I think.
Did that occur to you in the process, or did you start the project home anticipating that you would be exploring that?
Yes. First, well, I have this invitation from Hedwig. Marai asked to me if I like to do this work with Hedwig, and then I have to think in an idea where we are now at home, almost a year at home, living at home, working at home. And I thought that it's a good space to talk right now. And then I have in my hands a beautiful book, talk about beauty, a beautiful book of Gaston Bachelard, The Poetic of Space. And this beautiful book gives to me a lot of information. And I connect with this beautiful, that's fabulous a text and metaphors and a philosophy of the house and how the house meaning for the house as an archetype and that place that where when you grow and you take all the values or take off the values when you are a child, no? That place to grow in. And I think this was a good point to go forward in that work. But Gaston Bachelard had the beautiful dancer of Hedwig, and the idea, no, that and the work, because in the work, when you are on work and moving and exploring and looking for everything is everything acontece, everything blow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a kindness
Yes.
that comes through, a caring between the dancers that I observed. Maria, as a composer, because you were also responding to the dancers, can you tell us this notion of the experience of beauty, how you came upon it? What were the dancers giving back for you as a composer? You know, that experience of where the esprit connected.
Well, this project is full of beauty, and beauty is something that is really in my life, my everyday life. Some people says that people can see or feel or touch the beauty, and this is something that happened from the beginning of the project. There was a lot of material from the dancers, and also the exchanging with Betty. We were talking and reading parts of this beautiful book of Gaston Bachelard that was a very, very big inspiration. And there were lots of details that started to appear as images or evocation of spaces that started to sound in my head like sparks of beauty, really. This beauty that you cannot express, or you cannot give words for, but you can feel it, and you can feel it. So this was a big part, all the exchange and all the things that were there, and these sounds that started to come. And then there was a special thing that is important, I think, here at home, that is the bond between Betty and me, and all this communication, heart communication, and not only ideas, but the feeling of things. And also with my partner, Raúl Grillo, there's also this bond that is really special and make the sound to be there, and all the process of composition really fluid. And as the sounds were there, just there in this archive, we were collecting or putting all together. And yeah, the time at the studio and the communication between all the community, all our team, was something that is really here and is part of this beauty that blossom when you see home, and you feel this intimacy, and you feel this close, this feeling of closeness, to be close to the people that is dancing there, and all the things that are presented on the project.
Amazing, because it's to feel that I'm being seen, that I'm being addressed by someone's world. That feeling that I'm part of something greater seems transformative. I mean, that's where the beauty is. It doesn't have a particular aesthetic, or it doesn't sound a particular way, but it's just about how I feel like I'm being addressed by it. I'm being addressed by the dancer, by your music, by the movements, by Betty's direction. And what's amazing is that normally the experience of seeing dance is something we leave behind. We leave it behind when it's a site-specific place that we all have come together to see. And instead, I will keep it in my home, because I have seen 4 other worlds. I have viewed it from my own world. And I will look around my own room and think about my own body and the gestures and how I'm moving in this space in a completely different way. So it has changed us. I think it's a remarkable achievement of even from seeing the rehearsals, I was excited about that. So it's an extraordinary project. I'm looking forward to hearing our viewers raise questions and tell us about what they think of this extraordinary footage that we have seen.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Betty. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Yolanda.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this. Your point of view is a present.
I hope that you found today's performance of Home as interesting as I did, and that you have been thinking about the questions you would like to ask our creative team. Join me in welcoming the choreographer Ana Beatriz Perez and the composer Maria Move. They join us today from their home base in A Coruña, Spain. I will be serving as our moderators for today's Q&As. And our intern, Ashley Aguilar, is monitoring the live chat feed for your questions, and she will forward them to me. Wow, thank you, Betty, Yolanda, and Maria. Dude, that was amazing. I was enjoying that conversation a lot. Actually, I haven't told you guys this, but Betty is my best forever friend I have ever had in my life. So we grew up together in the dance path. So, so it's so amazing to hear her talking about dance, talking about her experience with Hedwig Dances. I'm so happy for you. And I just wanted to thank you again and send you a big kiss from Chicago. So I have a couple questions here that I would like to ask Betty and Maria because there's in the chat. So the first question is, how did you prepare to meet the Hedwig dancers to connect with Jake, Rigo, Olivia, and Jesse?
Oh, well, I knew Rigo. I knew first Jessie because Jessie is the sister of Marai. I knew her when she was a little child. I brushed her hair, and um, I knew Rigo in one time in Cuba many years ago, but I didn't know Olivia, no Jacob, and the first connection with them was this. This opportunity that Hedwig gave to me to see chaos, the piece of Rigo Saura, a virtual piece. In that piece, I could see how they move together, even in the place that in the own houses. And this is prepare my view for this work. And then in the first moment that I met them, it was funny because immediately we start to talk about the piece, talk about the concept that I would like to use, I would like to work, talk about them, and I start to pull to go to through the pool immediately with exercise and homework that they have to do at home. And of course, we start to move, and the movement is a community language, no? It's our language, and we start to connect with through the movement, and to little by little create through the improvisation, through the different tasks that I send them, little sequence, and the sequence become a different scenes that I have in that piece. It seems easy, but it's a hard work that we start in October, almost 3 months, 3 days a week. 3 days a week that I told you before, that I enter in these 4 rooms, in this intimate place that they send to me, and it's generous for them. I am so happy to work with they, because they're really beautiful, and connect with other people through through the Atlantic Sea, and other people and other dancers, and another dancer, but we connect each other. We connect not only with the dance, we connect 3 of us, because we born in the same place in Cuba, and that connection is beautiful too, because we have a lot of information from the island, and it gives you to the work other meanings too.
Yes, and for me, I knew the dancers through Betty, and at first what I had was information about them, really special information, like themselves related to colors, or things about home, specific details about home and what a home means for each one, and also animals related to them, or this kind of things that started to create a soup of sounds inside me. And then I saw some rehearsals, and it was amazing, because I could recognize each one. So when through the process, I had the feeling that there would be some sound for each one, or that we could create some part of music for each dancer. And this was really special, like have the feeling that I could almost touch them through the sound, to give them something to inspire each one, and to make the piece grow. So this was very special. And when we were at the studio, how the final sounds were merging from all of that process was really a precious moment.
Nice, Maria. Yeah, definitely you did. Yeah, they were engaged with you at all times. You know, I actually was part of the process as well, on a StreamYard, you know, rehearsing with the dancers and Maria and Betty together. So it was so amazing to see them work and to see them be engaged in the idea. And also when the sound came, they definitely changed. It changed everything. Yeah, the way they were working in the beginning with the different music, or even with just silence, and immediately when the music came, it was completely different. But anyway, I have another question here. So in the chat, did you imagine how this virtual performance could evolve after the pandemic into another hybrid form, staged in the theater? How might that look and sound for the dancers or for the audience?
I think we need to create bubbles for the projects when the projects are not, and if we're at home, we need, well, from sound, I imagine creating bubbles for each project, like sounds specific for that journey that we're gonna follow from home. So if something is changing in this way now, I think there's a lot to investigation. There's a lot of investigation that we need to do in each project to create special sounds, special atmospheres or ambience closer to films, maybe films ambience.
Yes, but it is very, very curious because the virtual scene is different to the scenario, to the stage. And there are a lot of information, but different. There are two scenarios different, but I don't know how to say. In the stage, we can feel when people, when audience, when you are as accompanied with people in that when you dance, and in the virtual scenario, you can feel that it's another experience because you are alone. You are in your intimate, and you are dancing with all that energy, all that information that you worked, but you alone, and it's different. It's both. I think both scenarios are beautiful, but difference is we are discovering. We still discovering this real this new scenario, virtual scenario.
Yeah, it's very interesting because yeah, it is true. Yeah, you probably are together virtually at some point in rehearsal, but when you're in your own isolation, you know, when you just turn everything off, it's just isolated, and you're in your own room, in your own space, and that figure things out, you know, and with your feelings. So it is very interesting, just this. I have another question here. Working virtually, what ways are you finding helps correct for the feeling of distance or isolation the screen creates?
I think it's you have to be present in. All this rehearsal. I talk with the dancer, and it's very beautiful and it's very amazing. How can I feel? How can I feel in that position, in that virtual mood? How can I feel that they move my heart? When they dance, I can feel emotion. I can feel different sensations, and I am asking myself that I don't know why that scenario, different scenario, brings to me that I thought that it was different to work with this scenario. I thought, oh, maybe the virtual scenario is difficult to go to the audience, to connect to the audience, but it's not. It's not true. you connect. When you connect with the audience, it's because you are working with this generous, this way this way to work with the present, with the real moment that you are. You touch the frame, you open the window in the real moment. You are living this moment as a true. And it's amazing that these things happen because you have. I think that nothing can. Nothing can. How can I say it? The scenario, the typical scenario, the stage is, as I told you before, is amazing. It's the real magic, and nothing can sustituir, Maray. Nada puede sustituir eso.
Yeah, exchange, like.
Yes, nothing. But the virtual scenario is another give in that moment, another experience that we are discovering right now, and maybe we have there a word to discover. And I feel right now that I am getting emotional with all that the dancer, with all that the movement, with all that the experience that they bring to me in that piece. And I am very happy because when this happens, I have only clapping and send keys to them as an audience.
Yeah, it's true that nothing can replace the it's la palabra sustituir, replace, I'm sorry. So yeah, definitely nothing can replace the theater, but this is another layer of really being a performer. So, and that's valuable.
Yeah, I think the same, like as Betty said, and there is this truth and a special intimacy just for being at home and being in a place where that is your place, and give a lot of information to the dance that you're creating. Like the dancers are giving something really big because of their presence, their truth, and also the place in which they're performing. And yeah, it's communication, I would say. Like after working virtually, communication is like a key for everything. You can communicate with your body, and you can dancing, not talking, but you also can communicate through sound or talking. And this is really the most important, because you get to be so close to the person you have on the other side of the screen. And this can happen through dancing or talking or speaking, singing, and it happens. It's really crazy, but it happens. You can get touched and touched through the screen. Yeah.
But I think that the dancers feel a little lonely, or because they are alone. They are alone. It's rare, but we have to keep forward. Yes.
Yes, I have another question here. As we just have a couple of minutes for one interesting question that I have over here, that I cannot let it go. So I'm interested in what is essential to dance, what makes it dance. And so I like knowing technology is not inherently good or bad, and you are getting proficient, if I'm saying the word right, with the new technology. Is there any technology you fear that would degrade something essential that you will not use given the chance. Like, for example, in Spanish is me interesa lo que es esencial para bailar, lo que bailar es, ¿no? Sabiendo que la tecnología no es intrínsecamente buena o mala y te estás volviendo competente con la nueva tecnología. ¿Hay alguna tecnología que temes que degradaría algo esencial que no usarías si tuvieras la oportunidad?
Oof, we have to investigate this. I think it's we have in a new moment, in a new era. We have to era of change, era of mutation, era of discover another thing, and I don't know if technology maybe the depends of the use that someone or everyone the use of the different use that people make with the technology. But I think that if we think in the technology as something that help us or to connect or to talk or to express beauty or to communicate, to I don't know, I think it's good. I think it's always good in that mood, but I don't know. We have to thinking about this question. It's very interesting for the future. Maria, I don't know what.
Yeah, yeah, this is a deep question.
Mm-hmm.
Really, like dance. There's something that happens at home. I mean, at this piece in home. It's like when a dancer is in front of you moving, and you can feel that you are also moving with this dancer, like if you are inside him or feeling the movement, feeling the air, the breathing. And this is something that is, well, at least for me, is that essential of dance. This movement that can be in the dancer. I mean, the dancer is moving, but the public, the audience, is also moving, is also dancing. This connection, and at the beginning, I was in fear of this virtual everything scenario and everything. But I discovered that we develop, we get to, like, through different skills to connect with the movement and the dancers, and we are able to feel dancing with them, and this was amazing. Like the essential of the dance. If I think about this, this thing is still there, and it has to be with this presence and with this truth and with this vulnerability and intimacy and this feeling of being inside him or her. I mean, the dancer has to be inside the body completely to communicate, and this is not lost through the screen. I don't know. I think it's something really human that no technology can close or can switch off. It's something that is with us, and so we have the skills to connect, the skills to be, and it's like special powers. I feel that I developed special powers through this process to perceive subtle things, through the screen and feel really close to the person who is dancing and performing. And yeah, so all fears become strength, or se dan la vuelta a la tortilla. The omelet.
The omelette. So yeah, I completely agree with you guys. It is an intense question, but I think, I'm not a technology person, and we have been discover many things. I have been personally discover many layers of technology through dance. Just by the, I was talking to Betty after rehearsal about how just our own shadow creates a magic flow. Like we don't become alone, because you become yourself. You really learn that yourself is so important, and that you get to know more yourself each time, during rehearsal. Just the shadow that it creates my own image, it's kind of like my frame, my other me, what's behind that. So that's question, but at the same time answers. So you're asking yourself all the time by looking at your image through technology, and that how this computer, it's located, the angle where you put the computer, it creates such a beauty. It's just simplicity, but just a beauty that takes you somewhere else. It takes you far, and that it brings emotion to somebody else. So yeah, I would like to thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Yolanda. So and Betty and Maria. Yolanda, please, you're welcome to say anything. It's just so amazing that this conversation gets longer and longer. We don't have more time, but
yeah, I guess I was just listening and thinking that it's like what happens when a dancer dances for the first time without mirrors. We are looking through the glass, and we're imagining their responses because we're unable to see it at the time. And that's different, but it's also a strength, as Maria was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so transparent. So I would like to thank you all, Yolanda, my respects and sincere thanks for being part of this event, to share with us, to be part of the process, to change all this and collaborate with us in Spanish and English. It was so delicious to have you all sharing your experience with Hedwig Dances. So I'm just happy that everyone is here today sharing that. So thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you all.
We look forward to presenting the full performance on March 7 at 3 p.m. and we hope you will be able to join us. Please remember that while today's program is offered free of charge, we will be most grateful if you will honor our work with a donation of any amount. The link to make your donation is displayed at the bottom of the screen and within the live chat section. That is also where you will find the link to purchase your tickets to Home, a place within. My sincere thanks to Yolanda, Betty, and Maria for this marvelous discussion. And thank you for being here with us.